But there is no doubt that the financial crisis of 2008 had a profound impact on myself. I probably learned more in those couple few years than I had learned in a decade prior to that.
Right.
And I think those are the types of things, if you have not gone through them, and you've been through them in your career,
been through a few
you
of them.
can't explain them. You have to live through them.
Right.
You have to have the experience
Yeah.
in order to really understand how bad it can get, and therefore what are the things you should be doing when it's not bad to protect yourself, to make sure you never go to that side, and that side is insolvency, right?
Yeah.
It's always about getting to the other side. If you're in good businesses, in good markets, America's up and to the right. Maybe it won't be in the future. We can sit here and have that discussion, but America's been up and to the right for a really long period of time. Mm-hmm. And it goes through these dips. And so the issue is just making sure that when it comes down, that you've got the financial wherewithal, the solvency, the liquidity, right, to get through to the other side.
Yeah.
And in the real estate business, it comes down to leverage, it comes down to cross-collateralization. I mean, it doesn't come down to a lot more than that.
Right.
You know, it's not that difficult to get to the other side.
It's funny because like with the '08 crisis, obviously we're all familiar with like the short sales, not short sales, subprime mortgages. And if you zoom out enough, all those houses that caused so much, and obviously I'm minimizing what happened, but all that turmoil, the irony is if they had enough runway,
Sure.
they'd be the most valuable companies in the world right
Sure.
now. And it's just like, it goes back to what you said, it's just, can you hold on long enough to go through it?
Well, when you lever yourself up 75 or 85 or 95 cents on the dollar and you don't have big liquidity reserves, you know, I mean, it's happened this cycle again. We had a spike in interest rates in early 22, and I mean, the office real estate sector, which you can talk about, has had its major challenges, but the entire rest of the real estate sector, right, has basically been fine to very, very good. But there were a handful of folks who just levered their properties up. Interest rates spiked, they don't have the reserves in the capital, and they're losing assets just because they're too highly levered and don't have the liquidity to get to the other side. Maybe that's easy for me to say, sitting in a position from an institutional perspective, having the financial wherewithal to do that, versus an entrepreneur who's trying to build a business and try to scrape together every dollar of cash so that they can be in this business. So I'm not suggesting that everybody's in this position to be, 45% equity.
Right.
But nonetheless, the answer to getting to the other side in real estate is leverage.